Here's Martin Biron to talk about all this stuff. So, Marty, we recapped the biggest deals from Monday. So between the Marner trade, the sign and trade, the Evan Bouchard deal, the two Florida deals, which of those deals are you most impressed with from Monday?
They're all huge. They're all big. But for me, it's the deals with a Z, not an S, because of Bill Zito, what he was able to do with the Florida Panthers. I mean, the number one priority was Sam Bennett. He got it done like 8x8, whatever. But then he gets Aaron Ekblad at almost $2 million under market value, in my opinion. I think Ekblad could have got at least probably $8 million a year on the free agent market. And then you look to Brad Marchand, you said, you know what? You're 37. How about we give you 6 years at over 30 million total, right? I thought maybe 20 to 25 million over 3 or 4 years was going to be the number. No, we'll give you 6 years, 30 million. Let's go. Let's get it done. Like, that is a masterclass by Bill Zito. Obviously, look, that could all go wrong for the Florida Panthers. I don't anticipate it. They still have the same team. They're going for three-peat to go into finals 4 years in a row. I think you have to keep the band together, and you have to sacrifice some things. Well, you know what? Ekblad sacrifice and the team sacrifice giving a long-term deal to Marchand. So deals with a Z for Bill Zito was amazing.
Yeah, and our mutual friend James Duthie's sweating right now because our top 50 free agent list took a massive hit on Monday. However, the good news is some big names still out there, including now in the top spot, Nikolaj Ehlers. How about Brock Boeser? How about Mikael Granlund? We finally have a goaltender in the top 5. Jake Allen, easily the best goaltender available. So Ehlers is going to market on Tuesday. He's made that clear to the Winnipeg Jets. Doesn't mean he's leaving Winnipeg, but he's going to test free agency. But after everything you saw on Monday and really over the weekend as well, Marty, do you expect Ehlers to just get a massive, massive deal either on July 1 or perhaps a little after?
It's the perfect timing for Nick Ehlers because of everything that's happened. Now he's number one on the list. I thought he was going to get maybe somewhere a little bit over $8 million. I wouldn't be surprised if that jumps $1 million to $9 million. I think he could get $9 million a year on the open market. And let's remember, it was 9 years ago, 2016, when Milan Lucic and Kyle Poso and Louis Eriksson all signed these long-term deals, 6 and 7 years at $6 million. That was the most, right? That was big. Well, because the market was so slim, right, that you're like throwing all that money at the top guys. Nick Ehlers is in the perfect position right now. He's sitting at number one, and he said, okay, bring in your best offer, and then it's going to continue to climb as the day goes, as the second day potentially could go, and he's going to make a lot of money. So I'm looking at $8 million was the market value. It could be $9 million when he signs as a UFA.
Brock Boeser, one of just 2 players remaining in our top 50 that scored 25 goals last season. The other is Pius Suter. Lots of talk about Edmonton being interested in Boeser. Lots of talk about the Winnipeg Jets being interested in Boeser. He is only 28 years old. In your mind, Marty, what's a fair deal for Brock Boeser?
We got to remember Boeser scored 40 goals 2 years ago, and he could definitely fetch another big contract, right? I think that originally I thought $7.5 million for Boeser. You know, kind of maybe a shorter term, although he would want to cash in, but approve it to me maybe 3-4 years and then sign another one when you're 32. But now I'm looking, okay, he's probably going to get 8+ on a long-term deal, right? 6 or 7 years. So I think this, again, is because of the marketplace and what's available. But if you get somebody that can score 35 or 40 goals and you're paying them $8 million, I think you're fine. But it's going to be tight with the Oilers and the money that they've already spent. And the Jets, I think you got to find a fit, and maybe the fit is going to bring the number down a little bit more.
You and I have probably talked more about Jake Allen than Jake Allen's entire family has talked about him all year. And the reason is because, as we pointed out early, Marty, he's clearly the best goalie available. We're just not sure if he's going to upgrade a lot of teams' goaltending problems. In your mind, is he more than just a tandem guy?
He could be just a little bit more. Look, if you want 45 games from Jake Allen, you may get that. If you're looking for 55, I say this is a very big question mark. But he could be a 40 to 45 games and a tandem guy that obviously you're going to have to pay because the free agent market when it comes to goaltending is, again, very slim. So when I thought a guy like Jake Allen could go 3.5, maybe you have to pay $4 million now to make sure you get the best goalie available if you need somebody as a support system that can come in and take over at some point. That's the thing. Jake Allen can come in and take over, but if Jake Allen is your number one goaltender by the end of February, you're probably going to be looking on Trade Center and say, okay, can I get somebody else to come in?
Right.
Because I want to be able to upgrade again. So it may be a short-term thing if you want him to be more than a tandem guy.
Marty, how excited, as we show you when we're bringing you Free Agent Frenzy on Tuesday, Canada Day, how excited are you about this, buddy? How excited do you get for this day?
I'm pumped because I get to hang out with O-Dog. That's what I like.
He's never cranky. He's always excited, especially when there's Harveys in the building, O-Dog, Marty, and our buddy James Duthie. Free Agent Frenzy presented by Harveys, Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time.